Hi y'all, you're watching Bujo Fridays. My name is Maverick Moses and welcome back to my channel. April has come and gone and hello to May. How does the saying go? April showers bring May flowers? Well, inspired by that saying, I wanted to make this next month's theme kind of a spring showers, flowers, trees, life, vegetation, leaves, all that kind of theme. So come along for the ride as I set up next month's spread in my bullet journal, and maybe something that I do will give you some inspiration to use in your own bullet journal. So without further ado, let's take it over to me, myself, and I in the voiceover. Alright, so as I said, I'm going with a spring kind of theme with lots of flowers, vegetation, trees, and such. I'll be doing the cover pages of this month using watercolor, so I have my 2 watercolor sheets already cut to the size of my journal, and I just tape them down so they won't move. I started out drawing a rectangle with pencil and wrote May in my green Tombow brush pen within the rectangle. The step of drawing out the rectangle with a pencil ended up not really being all that important, as I ended up going through with my washi tape and taping around the word anyway. Then I went in with my watercolors and used varying shades of green to paint around the washi tape. I had started drawing these oval shapes coming out because I was planning on going back in after the paint dries and drawing in leaves with a pen. But after continuing to sweep out the paint in different directions, I really liked the way it was looking, so I just kept it with that. While that's drying, I moved over to the second cover page, and using a pencil, I started drawing a cloud at the top, then drew in some rain droplets coming from it. This page is basically going to be an embodiment of that spring showers bring May flowers quote that I mentioned earlier. At the bottom of the page, I started painting these flowers coming up from the ground. I thought about making them actual flower shapes, but decided I liked the look of these different colors of purples, yellows, and reds just kind of all mixed together, flourishing from the green stems. After painting those, I went back up and used watercolor once again on the cloud and rain droplets. The cloud came out a lot darker than I originally hoped, but I think it still looks good. I also kind of messed up on one of the droplets and colored outside the lines a little, but noticed that I like the effect that it made, so I brushed the excess watercolor from each droplet down to give that raining effect a little more. After the watercolors dried, I went back and removed the washi tape from the May side, revealing a clean, straight line border around the month. Then on the other side, I wrote that quote, "Spring showers bring May flowers" in blue and green inked pens to match the colors of the rain and flower stems. This next month is going to be the first official page of the monthly spread, so I'll be using it as a look ahead for the month by adding a vertical calendar just like I did last month. To title the page, I wrote May with a green pen and then let the end of the Y continue to the edge in this wavy form, and then drew in some small leaves coming out of the vine. Then I just went down the page and numbered 1 through 31 for each date, then went back up and wrote the first letter of the day of the week each date is on. Then at the bottom of the page, I have a next month section where I can write in important dates in June that are coming up. This next page is going to be my trackers page. I did a very similar layout to last month's tracker page again, so I started writing in 1 through 31, going down and drawing a rectangle around it, leaving space for me to write in my calories burned and splat points from my Orange Theory fitness classes. Underneath that tracker, I wrote my marketing tracker by just putting 1 through 31 in each little square made by the dots on the page, so as I mark it, I'll just cross out each day that I do. On the top right, I created a space here to write the title to the trackers page, then created my writing tracker, this time drawing in a grid and filling in the numbers. Same concept as the marketing tracker, just a little different in appearance, and just added in some variety to the page. Underneath the writing tracker, I drew a little border here and then used the remaining space to set aside for my YouTube tracker. I use this space to schedule video ideas and keep track of subscribers and views. I just wrote YouTube and drew this Vine thing, again coming from the last letter, and drew in a play button similar to the YouTube logo. Moving on, this next page will be my budget and expense tracker. I just wrote budget on the top using a green pen again and created another Vine looking thing, this time acting as a border between the word and the content of the page. I then just wrote important dates. This is where I'll fill in any bill dates that I have this month, then started the expense tracker itself. I went with the same layout as last month, adding columns for my balance, the item or reason for the purchase, the date of purchase, and whether it was a bill or something I did for fun. On the next page over, I wrote notes and ideas at the top using the green pen again. As you can see, I've been pretty much using the green pen for everything, I think, to differentiate things going through. I'm going to stick with a black pen for any content writing I do in the journal, but all of the titles and graphics and stuff that I did for this journal spread, I went ahead and just did all of them in green pen. Anyway, I drew a border around the headline using leaves, so I basically just drew those all the way around, still using that green pen. I really liked the way this border came out. And lastly, onto the weekly spread. I started the page with my goals section and then continued the stroke from the last letter into a wavy line where I'm basically going to be drawing in a vine. So these vines will act as the border between days. So continuing, I wrote the days of the week, Monday through Sunday, skipping about 8 lines or so down after each, and then wrote the date in the upper right corner of each sectioned off day. After finishing the week, I wasn't really a huge fan of the barrage of green all across the page, and for the first time realized that I hadn't been keeping with the themes of flowers with purples and reds like I had in the cover page, so I went in with the purple pen and wrote a quote at the bottom saying, "Keep looking forward." After doing this, I still wasn't super happy with the look and thought it needed a little more color other than green, so using a purple and red pen, I went back through the week and added these filled in dots at the top of many of the stems in the vine, but I still kept some of them plain green. After doing this, my weekly spread was complete. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of my bullet journal spread this month, and if you found any inspiration from what I did. I would love to see what you can come up with and what your own drawings and interpretations are, so be sure to tag me in them on Instagram. If you would like to see a flip through of April's layout and close-ups of the pages that I covered today in this month's layout, be sure to take a look at my blog post down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want more Bujo Fridays every week, please hit that subscribe button. Be sure to follow me on Instagram for behind the pages insight into my life and work and sneak peeks of future videos. See y'all next week. Bye!